Hi guys, it's Ariel at Seattle Coffee Gear, and today we are going to be featuring the newest cold brew brewer that we have. This is the Cold Pro Jr from Brewista, and it's a really nice little cold brewer. It has this little toggle at the bottom so that when you're decanting it, you make less of a mess, which is nice. Normally I am a fan of the toddy, but I do like that you can do this instead of pulling a cork and getting cold brew all over your counter. So it has a 2-liter capacity. So 1 liter of cold brew concentrate, and then if you cut it with another liter, you get 2 liters of cold brew, and it's going to be good for about 2 weeks. It comes with these little felt fabric filters. So you're basically getting a double filter, which is nice. So you just put this little guy in the bottom, right in here. It also comes with a stand-up filter, which makes things easier to clean because you're not going to have to scrape out a whole bunch of grounds from inside the bucket because they're going to be contained in this filter. And the nice thing is it's also stand-up, so filling it with coffee grounds is going to be much easier. So you just have it in here and it stands up like this. So now we are going to actually make some cold brew. And the recipe calls for 8 ounces of coarsely ground coffee. So when you're grinding it, you want to grind it on the French press setting of your coffee grinder. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put it in. And we are going to be making a concentrate today. So just keep in mind that the coffee is going to absorb about half a liter of this water. So this is going to be 1.9 liters of water, and it's going to be room temperature. And we're just going to pour this in, and we're going to get our grounds saturated. And I just like holding on to the filter just to make sure it doesn't fold in at any point. And I am actually going to give it a stir just to make sure that everything gets saturated. All right, so that's how you get that going. So now I'm just going to take this little bag and I'm going to give it a little bit of a twist to kind of close it off, and then I'm going to fold it in, and then it comes with a nice lid just to keep everything clean and dust free. And I'm going to just set it here, and we are going to let this slow steep for 18 hours. And then when we are done, we're going to set it on top of our pitcher and pull that little toggle. And then we will have 1 liter of cold brew concentrate. If you want to cut it, then you would add a liter of water to that. So you get 2 liters of just regular cold brew that you can use up for up to 2 weeks. All right, so now we are actually going to make a drink with some of the cold brew that I made earlier today. And I actually made a sort of gin-inspired cold brew. So what I did was I took about 1/4 cup of juniper berries, about the same amount of lavender flowers, dried lavender flowers, about a tablespoon of dried tarragon, some cucumber slices, and then I also took about 3 generous ribbons of orange peel and a couple of ribbons of lemon peel. So you want this one to be bigger because you want more of that kind of sweet sort of floral note that orange peel has, and this lemon just kind of cuts it, and the cucumber sort of provides a nice freshness for it. So you want to let that steep for 18 hours, and then I decanted it into the pitcher, and then I just put it in a nice bottle because we're actually going to be making kind of a mixology-inspired drink with this today. So it's going to be kind of a cold brew gin and tonic. So I have my glass with ice here, and I'm actually using an elderflower tonic water today just to kind of add a little bit of sweetness. Elderflower has kind of a floral citrus note that I think will kind of pull those notes out of the cold brew a little bit nicer. So we're just going to fill this glass about 3/4 of the way full. All right. So now I have my sort of gin botanical infused cold brew here, and I have my jigger. So you're going to put in 3 ounces of that cold brew. Then I have my bar spoon here. It's just kind of a long-handled spoon, and I'm just going to give it kind of a gentle stir to get everything incorporated, but we're not going to lose any of that carbonation. And this is grapefruit bitters, and bitters are a great way to kind of flavor your cold brew if you don't want any kind of syrup in it, because it gives you a nice fragrance and a nice flavor, but it doesn't have any sugar in it. So I'm just going to add 3 dashes of that to the top of the glass. That way when we sip it, we get that fragrance. And I'm going to garnish it with a grapefruit wedge and a sprig of fresh rosemary. And to kind of get that fragrance of the rosemary, you're going to take it and kind of gently slap it on your hand to wake it up. And you're just going to place it right here. And this is a cold brew gin and tonic that I have made with the Brewista Cold Pro Jr. So we're gonna sip it, see how it goes. Ooh. It's super refreshing. I get the elderflower from the tonic water. I'm getting the notes of juniper berry and lavender, especially from the cold brew, and then the fragrance of the rosemary and the grapefruit really just kind of helps to kind of pull that out. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Cheers.